Hello, my name is Sajidul Talukdar, and I'm here to present our research on a study of friend abuse perception in Facebook. Facebook encourages users to have many friends. However, research have shown that people can only have meaningful relationships with up to 150 other people. In Facebook, users can have up to 5,000 friends. This means that at least some Facebook friends are not safe. We have identified three major types of abuse by Facebook friends. Some Facebook users may abuse content posted by their friends. We call this timeline abuse. Other Facebook users may distribute offensive, malicious, misleading, or fake information. We call this newsfeed abuse. Other users may even collect and misuse private user information. We call this privacy abuse. To study this abuse problem, we have designed a system that we call AbuseSniff. In the initial design, AbuseSniff had several modules. First, the questionnaire module that asks the user several questions about a few of his Facebook friends. Then the abuse inference engine that uses these answers to identify friends who are perceived to be abusive. And then the intervention module that delivers this information to the user and captures the user reaction. The questionnaire module has a 5-item questionnaire embedded in AbuseSniff mobile app, and you can see here the screenshots of the questionnaire. This is the abuse inference engine that takes the responses collected by the questionnaire as input and output suggested actions from one of the 5 actions. This module uses the rules shown in the table applied on a first match basis. The first 15 rules detect defensive actions. If none matches, the last rule decides that the friend is not abusive. These are some of the screenshots from the intervention module. The first screen displays the suggested actions inferred by the inference engine and asks the users to choose either to sandbox or to unfriend the stranger friend. The second screen asks user to unfollow the friend and shows her the reasons why she should take that suggested action. The last screen shows the actions taken by AbuseSniff after automatically predicting the abusive friends. We have performed 2 user studies with 80 participants to evaluate their perception of being a friend, a stranger, or an abuser. Overall, 71 out of 80 participants had a friend whom they believed is either a stranger or a timeline abuser or a newsfeed abuser. The problem with our initial approach for AbuseSniff is we have to show a questionnaire for each friend that we want to evaluate. However, people are seldom willing to answer questions, and users can have up to 5,000 Facebook friends. So the question is, can we do this detection step automatically? Now, for this, we have designed an extension of AbuseSniff where we replace the questionnaire with an abuse prediction module. The abuse prediction module was trained with several mutual activity features based on the Facebook data. We trained our classifiers on those features along with the collected questionnaire responses and user decisions. To evaluate AbuseSniff, we recruited a total of 325 participants from crowdsourcing site JobBoy during 7 user studies. The plot on the left shows the distribution of the countries of the participants, and the plot on the right shows the distribution of age of the participants. We have evaluated the accuracy of the classifier to predict the questionnaire answers. The random forest classifier achieved the best F measure of question 2, 1, and 5, while decision tree classifier achieved the best F measure for question 3 and question 4. We have trained classifiers to also predict which actions the user would take given our suggested actions. While the overall F measure is only 73.2%, abuse prediction module was able to accurately predict the ignore action with an F measure of over 97% accuracy. Younger participants are significantly more likely to have at least one friend perceived as a timeline and newsfeed abuser. There is no significant difference between younger and older or male or female participants on the perception of strangers, timeline abuser, and newsfeed abuser. We have also evaluated the automated version of AbuseSniff on 40 participants. We picked 30 random friends from each participant for a total of 1,200 friend relationships. AbuseSniff automatically labeled 403 friends as potentially abusive, of which 359 were predicted to be approved by the participants. The participants accepted 78% of the AbuseSniff suggestions. To filter the participants primarily, we have recruited the participants who had established Facebook accounts, at least 30 friends, had access to Android device, was at least 18 years old, and they passed a number of attention check screens. These are some of the anonymized screenshots of the Abusive app implemented in Android, which contains the definition of the suggested actions, attention check screen, pre-tester questions, login screens, and different other survey questionnaires. In conclusion, AbuseSniff provides a first line of suitable defenses against abuse for Facebook users who are unlikely to know and trust all their friends. This is important because 71 out of 80 participants in our studies had a friend whom they believed is either a stranger or a timeline abuser or a newsfeed abuser. Participants agreed to take the AbuseSniff suggested actions against friends predicted to be strangers or abusive in 78.2% of the cases. With this, I'd like to conclude my presentation. If you have any question, I'd love to answer. Thank you.